Hello bankers. Myself Arun welcomes you to Bank Promotion Exam Guide YouTube channel.
Hello bankers, I am Drishti. In this video mock test we are going to attempt 122 MCQs on Basel norms.
So, let's start. Question 1. What was the primary trigger for the implementation of Basel III?
Option A. The Great Depression. Option B. The global financial crisis of 2008. Option C. The dot-com bubble. Option D. The Asian financial crisis of 1997. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. The global financial crisis of 2008. Basel III was developed in response to the weaknesses in financial regulation revealed by the 2008 crisis.
Question 2. Which of the following was not a major contributing factor to the global financial crisis?
Option A. Subprime mortgage lending. Option B. Excessive leverage in the financial system. Option C. Increased regulation of financial institutions. Option D. Securitization of risky assets. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Increased regulation of financial institutions. The crisis was partly caused by inadequate regulation and oversight of financial institutions.
Question 3. How did the global financial crisis impact the banking sector?
Option A. It led to increased profitability for banks. Option B. It resulted in significant losses and bank failures. Option C. It had no significant impact on the banking sector. Option D. It caused a decrease in the demand for banking services. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It resulted in significant losses and bank failures. Many banks suffered huge losses due to exposure to toxic assets and the subsequent credit crunch.
Question 4. Which of the following is a key objective of Basel III?
Option A. To reduce the capital requirements for banks. Option B. To increase the risk-taking capacity of banks. Option C. To strengthen the regulation, supervision and risk management of banks. Option D. To promote deregulation of the financial sector. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. To strengthen the regulation, supervision, and risk management of banks. Basel III aims to make banks more resilient to future financial shocks.
Question 5. Basel III aims to improve the banking sector's ability to absorb shocks arising from.
Option A. Only financial stress. Option B. Only economic stress. Option C. Both financial and economic stress. Option D. Neither financial nor economic stress. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Both financial and economic stress. The framework is designed to enhance the resilience of banks in various adverse scenarios.
Question 6. What does Basel III seek to enhance in the banking sector?
Option A. Opacity and complexity. Option B. Risk management and transparency. Option C. Interconnectedness and systemic risk. Option D. Leverage and speculation. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Risk management and transparency. Basel III promotes better risk management practices and greater transparency in banking operations.
Question 7. Basel III is based on how many pillars?
Option A 2. Option B 3. Option C 4. Option D 5. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. 3. The three pillars are minimum capital requirements, supervisory review process, and market discipline.
Question 8. Which pillar of Basel III deals with maintaining adequate capital ratios?
Option A. Pillar 1. Option B. Pillar 2. Option C. Pillar 3. Option D. None of the above. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Pillar 1. This pillar focuses on enhancing the quality and quantity of bank capital.
Question 9. Which pillar of Basel III focuses on improving transparency and disclosures?
Option A. Pillar 1. Option B. Pillar 2. Option C. Pillar 3. Option D. None of the above. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Pillar 3. This pillar aims to promote market discipline through increased disclosure of information.
Question 10. Which of the following is not a key principle of Basel III?
Option A. Strengthening capital requirements. Option B. Enhancing risk management. Option C. Promoting deregulation. Option D. Improving liquidity standards. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Promoting deregulation. Basel III is about strengthening regulation, not reducing it.
Question 11. Basel III emphasizes the importance of
Option A. Short-term profitability over long-term stability. Option B. High leverage and risk-taking. Option C. Maintaining adequate capital buffers. Option D. Reducing regulatory oversight. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Maintaining adequate capital buffers. This helps banks absorb losses and remain solvent during times of stress.
Question 12. What does Basel III aim to improve in terms of risk coverage?
Option A. Narrowing the scope of risks covered. Option B. Broadening the scope of risks covered. Option C. Maintaining the same risk coverage as Basel II. Option D. Eliminating all risks in the banking sector. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Broadening the scope of risks covered. Basel III includes a wider range of risks compared to previous frameworks.
Question 13. Why does Basel III promote countercyclical buffers?
Option A. To increase lending during economic booms. Option B. To reduce lending during economic downturns. Option C. To maintain a consistent level of lending regardless of the economic cycle. Option D. To destabilize the banking system. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. To maintain a consistent level of lending regardless of the economic cycle. These buffers help banks build up capital during good times to use during periods of stress.
Question 14. What does Basel III aim to enhance in terms of supervision?
Option A. Reduce the role of supervisors. Option B. Increase the complexity of supervision. Option C. Strengthen the role of supervisors in overseeing banks. Option D. Make supervision less intrusive. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Strengthen the role of supervisors in overseeing banks. This is crucial for ensuring that banks comply with regulations and manage risks effectively.
Question 15. How does Basel III aim to promote market discipline?
Option A. By reducing the information available to market participants. Option B. By encouraging greater transparency and disclosure by banks. Option C. By limiting the role of market forces in shaping bank behavior. Option D. By increasing the complexity of financial reporting. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. By encouraging greater transparency and disclosure by banks. This allows market participants to assess the riskiness of banks and make informed decisions.
Question 16. What is a core component of Tier 1 capital?
Option A. Subordinated debt. Option B. Common equity. Option C. Retained earnings. Option D. Preferred stock. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Common equity. Common equity is the most loss-absorbing form of capital.
Question 17. Which of the following is not a component of Tier 2 capital?
Option A. Revaluation reserves. Option B. General provisions. Option C. Subordinated debt. Option D. Common stock. Think the answer.
Correct answer D. Common stock. Common stock is part of Tier 1 capital.
Question 18. What is the purpose of having different capital tiers?
Option A. To simplify the calculation of capital adequacy ratios. Option B. To create a hierarchy of capital instruments based on their loss-absorbing capacity. Option C. To reduce the overall capital requirements for banks. Option D. To increase the complexity of capital regulation. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. To create a hierarchy of capital instruments based on their loss-absorbing capacity. This helps ensure that banks have sufficient high-quality capital to withstand losses.
Question 19. What does the capital adequacy ratio, CAR, measure?
Option A. A bank's profitability. Option B. A bank's liquidity. Option C. A bank's capital in relation to its risk-weighted assets. Option D. A bank's leverage. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. A bank's capital in relation to its risk-weighted assets. A higher CAR indicates a stronger capital position.
Question 20. What is the minimum CAR requirement under Basel III?
Option A 4.5%. Option B 8%. Option C 10.5%. Option D 12%. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. 8%. This is the minimum total capital requirement, including both Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital.
Question 21. How are risk-weighted assets calculated?
Option A. By multiplying the value of assets by their respective risk weights. Option B. By simply adding up the value of all assets. Option C. By subtracting liabilities from assets. Option D. By dividing total capital by risk-free assets. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. By multiplying the value of assets by their respective risk weights. Different assets have different risk weights assigned to them based on their riskiness.
Question 22. Basel III introduced a new capital requirement for
Option A market risk. Option B credit risk. Option C operational risk. Option D leverage ratio. Think the answer.
Correct answer D. Leverage ratio. The leverage ratio is a non-risk-based measure that complements the risk-weighted capital requirements.
Question 23. What is the purpose of the leverage ratio?
Option A. To discourage excessive leverage in the banking sector. Option B. To encourage banks to take on more risk. Option C. To reduce the complexity of capital regulation. Option D. To replace risk-weighted capital requirements. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. To discourage excessive leverage in the banking sector. High leverage can amplify losses during times of stress.
Question 24. What is the purpose of the capital conservation buffer?
Option A. To ensure that banks have sufficient capital to lend during economic booms. Option B. To restrict lending during economic downturns. Option C. To require banks to hold additional capital above the minimum requirement. Option D. To reduce the overall capital requirements for banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. To require banks to hold additional capital above the minimum requirement. This buffer provides an additional layer of protection during periods of stress.
Question 25. How does the capital conservation buffer work?
Option A. It is a fixed percentage of risk-weighted assets. Option B. It varies depending on the economic cycle. Option C. It is depleted during periods of stress and must be replenished. Option D. It is only applicable to systemically important banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It is depleted during periods of stress and must be replenished. Banks are restricted from making distributions, like dividends, when the buffer falls below a certain level.
Question 26. When is the countercyclical capital buffer activated?
Option A. During periods of economic growth. Option B. During periods of economic recession. Option C. When there is excessive credit growth. Option D. When the banking sector is experiencing losses. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. When there is excessive credit growth. This buffer is designed to address systemic risk arising from excessive credit growth.
Question 27. Who decides on the implementation of the countercyclical capital buffer?
Option A. Individual banks. Option B. International Monetary Fund, IMF. Option C. National Regulatory Authorities. Option D. World Bank. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. National Regulatory Authorities. They have the authority to set the buffer rate based on domestic economic conditions.
Question 28. When did India begin implementing Basel III norms?
Option A. 2004. Option born in 2013. Option Sarkar 2019. Option D. 2022. Think the answer.
Correct answer born in 2013. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, started implementing Basel III norms in a phased manner from 2013.
Question 29. By what year were Indian banks required to fully comply with Basel III norms?
Option A. 2015. Option born in 2019. Option circa 2022. Option D. 2023. Think the answer.
Correct answer born in 2019. Indian banks were given a timeline to gradually transition to the full implementation of Basel III.
Question 30. Was the implementation of Basel III in India completed in a single phase or multiple phases?
Option A. Single phase. Option B. Multiple phases. Option C. Only in 2 phases. Option D. Only in 4 phases. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Multiple phases. A phased approach allowed banks to adjust to the new requirements gradually.
Question 31. Which entity is primarily responsible for implementing Basel III in India?
Option A. Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. Option B, Reserve Bank of India, RBI. Option C, Ministry of Finance. Option D, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Reserve Bank of India, RBI. The RBI is the banking regulator in India and oversees the implementation of Basel III norms.
Question 32. What kind of approach did the RBI adopt for implementing Basel III in India?
Option A. A relaxed and flexible approach. Option B. A strict and inflexible approach. Option C. A phased and consultative approach. Option D. An ad hoc and reactive approach. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. A phased and consultative approach. The RBI engaged with banks and stakeholders throughout the implementation process.
Question 33. Did the RBI make any modifications to the Basel III framework to suit the Indian context?
Option A. No modifications were made. Option B. Some modifications were made to address specific conditions in India. Option C. RBI cannot do modification. Option D. RBI made but removed later the modifications. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Some modifications were made to address specific conditions in India. The RBI adapted the framework to ensure its suitability for the Indian banking system.
Question 34. Which of the following is a key regulation related to Basel III implementation in India?
Option A. The Banking Regulation Act, 1949. Option B. The Companies Act, 2013. Option C. The Foreign Exchange Management Act, 1999. Option D. The Reserve Bank of India Act, 1934. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. The Banking Regulation Act, 1949. This act provides the legal framework for regulating banks in India.
Question 35. Does the RBI issue circulars and guidelines to provide detailed instructions on Basel III implementation?
Option A. Yes. Option B. No. Option C. No. Issued by individual banks. Option D. No. It is issued by DFS. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Yes. The RBI regularly issues circulars and guidelines to provide clarity and guidance to banks on Basel III compliance.
Question 36. Where can banks find detailed information on Basel III requirements in India?
Option A. On the website of the World Bank. Option B. On the website of the Reserve Bank of India. Option C. On the website of the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Option D. On the website of the Ministry of Finance. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. On the website of the Reserve Bank of India. The RBI's website is the primary source of information on Basel III regulations in India.
Question 37. What is one of the main challenges in implementing Basel III in India?
Option A. Lack of awareness about Basel III norms. Option B. Resistance from banks to comply with the new regulations. Option C. Ensuring adequate capital levels for some banks, especially public sector banks. Option D. Absence of a regulatory framework for Basel III implementation. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Ensuring adequate capital levels for some banks, especially public sector banks. Meeting the higher capital requirements can be challenging for some banks.
Question 38. Has Basel III implementation presented any opportunities for Indian banks?
Option A. No opportunities have arisen. Option B. Yes, it has led to improvements in risk management and overall financial stability. Option C. Partially correct. Option D. Partially incorrect. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Yes, it has led to improvements in risk management and overall financial stability. Basel III has encouraged better risk management practices and contributed to a more resilient banking system.
Question 39. How has Basel III impacted the competitiveness of Indian banks?
Option A. It has made Indian banks less competitive globally. Option B. It has had no impact on the competitiveness of Indian banks. Option C. It has strengthened the competitiveness of Indian banks by enhancing their financial health. Option D. It has created an uneven playing field, favoring foreign banks over Indian banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has strengthened the competitiveness of Indian banks by enhancing their financial health. Stronger capital positions improve the stability and credibility of Indian banks.
Question 40. What is a potential challenge related to the implementation of the countercyclical capital buffer in India?
Option A. Determining the appropriate timing and level of the buffer. Option B. Lack of clarity on the calculation of the buffer. Option C. Resistance from banks to implement the buffer. Option D. Absence of a legal framework for the buffer. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Determining the appropriate timing and level of the buffer. Setting the countercyclical buffer requires careful assessment of macroeconomic conditions.
Question 41. Has the implementation of Basel III affected financial inclusion in India?
Option A. It has significantly hindered financial inclusion efforts. Option B. It has had no impact on financial inclusion. Option C. It has potentially impacted financial inclusion due to stricter lending norms. Option D. It has accelerated financial inclusion by promoting greater access to credit. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has potentially impacted financial inclusion due to stricter lending norms. Tighter regulations can sometimes make it more difficult for certain segments of the population to access credit.
Question 42. How has Basel III impacted the role of technology in Indian banking?
Option A. It has discouraged the use of technology in banking. Option B. It has had no impact on the use of technology. Option C. It has encouraged the adoption of technology for better risk management and compliance. Option D. It has led to over-reliance on technology, increasing operational risks. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has encouraged the adoption of technology for better risk management and compliance. Technology plays a crucial role in meeting the reporting and monitoring requirements of Basel III.
Question 43. How has Basel III impacted capital planning for Indian banks?
Option A. It has made capital planning less important. Option B. It has led to more sophisticated and comprehensive capital planning processes. Option C. It has had no significant impact on capital planning. Option D. It has simplified capital planning by reducing regulatory requirements. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It has led to more sophisticated and comprehensive capital planning processes. Banks now need to consider a wider range of risks and scenarios in their capital planning.
Question 44. What is a key challenge for Indian banks in managing capital under Basel III?
Option A. Balancing the need for higher capital levels with the need to support lending and growth. Option B. Lack of guidance from the RBI on capital management. Option C. Absence of tools and models for capital planning. Option D. Resistance from shareholders to increase capital levels. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Balancing the need for higher capital levels with the need to support lending and growth. Higher capital requirements can potentially constrain lending activities.
Question 45. How has Basel III impacted the way Indian banks raise capital?
Option A. It has limited the options for raising capital. Option B. It has encouraged diversification of funding sources and increased reliance on equity capital. Option C. It has had no impact on capital raising strategies. Option D. It has led to greater reliance on debt financing. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It has encouraged diversification of funding sources and increased reliance on equity capital. Basel III incentivizes banks to hold more high-quality capital, such as common equity.
Question 46. What is a potential impact of Basel III on lending and credit growth in India?
Option A. It could lead to a significant increase in lending. Option B. It could potentially moderate credit growth due to stricter lending norms. Option C. It has had no impact on lending and credit growth. Option D. It has led to a credit crunch in the Indian economy. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It could potentially moderate credit growth due to stricter lending norms. Higher capital requirements and stricter risk assessment can make banks more cautious in lending.
Question 47. How has Basel III affected the cost of credit in India?
Option A. It has significantly reduced the cost of credit. Option B. It has had no impact on the cost of credit. Option C. It could potentially lead to a slight increase in the cost of credit due to higher capital costs for banks. Option D. It has made it impossible for borrowers to access credit. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It could potentially lead to a slight increase in the cost of credit due to higher capital costs for banks. Banks may pass on some of the increased capital costs to borrowers.
Question 48. Which sectors of the Indian economy might be most affected by changes in credit growth due to Basel III?
Option A. Sectors with low capital requirements, such as the IT sector. Option B. Sectors that are less capital intensive, such as services. Option C. Sectors with high capital requirements, such as infrastructure and manufacturing. Option D. All sectors are equally affected. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Sectors with high capital requirements, such as infrastructure and manufacturing. These sectors typically require large loans, which may be impacted by stricter lending norms.
Question 49. How has Basel III impacted the profitability of Indian banks?
Option A. It has significantly increased profitability. Option B. It has had no impact on profitability. Option C. It could potentially put some pressure on profitability in the short term due to higher capital costs. Option D. It has led to record profits for all Indian banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It could potentially put some pressure on profitability in the short term due to higher capital costs. However, in the long term, a stronger capital base can contribute to sustainable profitability.
Question 50. What is a key challenge for Indian banks in maintaining profitability under Basel III?
Option A. Reducing operating costs and improving efficiency. Option B. Lack of competition in the Indian banking sector. Option C. Excessive reliance on fee-based income. Option D. Difficulty in attracting deposits. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Reducing operating costs and improving efficiency. Banks need to find ways to offset the potential impact of higher capital costs on profitability.
Question 51. How has Basel III affected the efficiency of Indian banks?
Option A. It has decreased efficiency due to increased compliance burden. Option B. It has had no impact on efficiency. Option C. It has encouraged banks to improve their operational efficiency and risk management practices. Option D. It has led to over-reliance on technology, reducing human capital efficiency. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has encouraged banks to improve their operational efficiency and risk management practices. Basel III incentivizes banks to optimize their operations and manage risks more effectively.
Question 52. Compared to public sector banks, how well equipped are private sector banks in India to meet Basel III norms?
Option A, less equipped. Option B, equally equipped. Option C, generally better equipped due to stronger capital positions and risk management practices. Option D, not equipped at all. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Generally better equipped due to stronger capital positions and risk management practices. Private sector banks tend to have a more proactive approach to risk management.
Question 53. What is a potential advantage for private sector banks under Basel III?
Option A. Increased market share due to their ability to meet stricter norms. Option B. Reduced competition from public sector banks. Option C. Greater access to government support. Option D. Relaxation of regulatory requirements. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Increased market share due to their ability to meet stricter norms. Stronger capital positions can enable private sector banks to expand their lending and operations.
Question 54. How has Basel III impacted the focus of private sector banks on risk management?
Option A. It has reduced the emphasis on risk management. Option B. It has had no impact on risk management practices. Option C. It has further strengthened their focus on robust risk management frameworks. Option D. It has led to over-reliance on technology for risk management. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has further strengthened their focus on robust risk management frameworks. Basel III reinforces the importance of sound risk management practices for all banks.
Question 55. What is a potential challenge for private sector banks in implementing Basel III?
Option A. Maintaining the same level of profitability as before. Option B. Complying with the increased regulatory requirements and reporting burden. Option C. Lack of access to capital markets. Option D. Resistance from the RBI to implement Basel III. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Complying with the increased regulatory requirements and reporting burden. Meeting the stricter reporting and disclosure requirements can be demanding.
Question 56. How has Basel III impacted the innovation and product development strategies of private sector banks?
Option A. It has stifled innovation in the banking sector. Option B. It has had no impact on innovation. Option C. It has encouraged innovation in areas like risk management and capital optimization. Option D. It has led to excessive risk-taking in pursuit of innovation. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has encouraged innovation in areas like risk management and capital optimization. Banks are exploring new approaches to meet the challenges posed by Basel III.
Question 57. How are foreign banks operating in India impacted by Basel III norms?
Option A. They are exempt from Basel III requirements. Option B. They are subject to the same Basel III regulations as domestic banks. Option C. They are subject to less stringent requirements than domestic banks. Option D. They are only subject to the regulations of their home country. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. They are subject to the same Basel III regulations as domestic banks. All banks operating in India, including foreign banks, need to comply with the RBI's Basel III framework.
Question 58. What is a potential challenge for foreign banks in complying with Basel III in India?
Option A. Adapting their global risk management systems and practices to the Indian context. Option B. Lack of support from their parent organizations. Option C. Exemption from regulatory requirements. Option D. Unfamiliarity with international banking regulations. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Adapting their global risk management systems and practices to the Indian context. Foreign banks may need to make adjustments to align their operations with the specific requirements in India.
Question 59. How has Basel III impacted the competitiveness of foreign banks in India?
Option A. It has given them a significant advantage over domestic banks. Option B. It has had no impact on their competitiveness. Option C. It has created a level playing field by subjecting all banks to the same regulatory standards. Option D. It has forced all foreign banks to exit the Indian market. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It has created a level playing field by subjecting all banks to the same regulatory standards. This promotes fair competition in the Indian banking sector.
Question 60. Are cooperative banks in India subject to Basel III regulations?
Option A. No, they are completely exempt. Option B. Yes, but they have a different timeline for implementation and may have some relaxations. Option C. They are subject to even stricter requirements than commercial banks. Option D. They are only regulated by their state governments. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Yes, but they have a different timeline for implementation and may have some relaxations. The RBI has tailored the Basel III framework for cooperative banks considering their unique characteristics and structure.
Question 61. What is a key challenge for cooperative banks in implementing Basel III?
Option A. Strong capital positions and advanced risk management practices. Option B. Meeting the stricter capital requirements and improving risk management capabilities. Option C. Lack of regulatory oversight. Option D. Abundance of resources and expertise. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Meeting the stricter capital requirements and improving risk management capabilities. Cooperative banks often have limited resources and may face challenges in upgrading their risk management systems.
Question 62. Is the Basel III framework a static set of rules or is it subject to ongoing refinements?
Option A, static. Option B, subject to periodic reviews and updates. Option C, unchanging. Option D, fixed for each decade. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Subject to periodic reviews and updates. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision continually monitors the framework and makes necessary adjustments.
Question 63. How does the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision ensure the effectiveness of Basel III?
Option A. By ignoring feedback and global developments. Option B. By regularly monitoring its implementation and making necessary revisions. Option C. By making the framework increasingly complex. Option D. By delegating the responsibility entirely to national regulators. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. By regularly monitoring its implementation and making necessary revisions. This ensures the framework remains relevant and addresses emerging risks.
Question 64. What is the objective of the ongoing refinements to Basel III?
Option A. To weaken the framework and reduce regulatory burden. Option B. To enhance its effectiveness in addressing evolving risks and challenges. Option C. To maintain the status quo in the banking sector. Option D. To create confusion and uncertainty among banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. To enhance its effectiveness in addressing evolving risks and challenges. The refinements aim to strengthen the framework and ensure its continued relevance.
Question 65. How does the RBI incorporate global updates to Basel III in the Indian context?
Option A. By directly adopting all changes without any modifications. Option B. By ignoring global developments. Option C. By carefully evaluating the implications and adapting the changes to suit the Indian banking system. Option D. By delaying the implementation of updates indefinitely. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. By carefully evaluating the implications and adapting the changes to suit the Indian banking system. The RBI considers domestic conditions while incorporating global updates.
Question 66. Why is it important for India to keep pace with global developments in Basel III?
Option A. To isolate the Indian banking system from global standards. Option B. To maintain the competitiveness of Indian banks and ensure financial stability. Option C. To increase the complexity and compliance burden for banks. Option D. To follow international regulations blindly without considering domestic needs. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. To maintain the competitiveness of Indian banks and ensure financial stability. Keeping pace with global standards ensures that Indian banks remain on par with international peers.
Question 67. What is one of the emerging challenges for Basel III implementation in India?
Option A. The increasing use of traditional banking models. Option B. The rapid pace of technological advancements and the rise of fintech. Option C. The declining importance of risk management. Option D. The absence of cybersecurity threats. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. The rapid pace of technological advancements and the rise of fintech. New technologies and financial innovations present both opportunities and challenges for banking regulation.
Question 68. How is the rise of fintech impacting the banking sector in India?
Option A. It is making the banking sector obsolete. Option B. It has no impact on the banking sector. Option C. It is leading to increased competition and innovation in financial services. Option D. It is reducing the need for regulation. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It is leading to increased competition and innovation in financial services. Fintech companies are offering new and disruptive financial products and services.
Question 69. What is a key challenge for regulators in dealing with fintech?
Option A. Striking a balance between promoting innovation and mitigating risks. Option B. Suppressing innovation and protecting traditional banking models. Option C. Ignoring the potential benefits of fintech. Option D. Avoiding any form of regulation for fintech companies. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Striking a balance between promoting innovation and mitigating risks. Regulators need to ensure that innovation does not come at the cost of financial stability.
Question 70. How is climate change posing a challenge for the banking sector and Basel III implementation?
Option A. It has no impact on the banking sector. Option B. It is leading to increased credit risks due to the impact of extreme weather events and transition risks. Option C. It is making it easier for banks to assess and manage risks. Option D. It is reducing the need for environmental sustainability considerations in banking. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It is leading to increased credit risks due to the impact of extreme weather events and transition risks. Banks need to consider climate-related risks in their lending and risk management practices.
Question 71. What is meant by green finance?
Option A. Financing activities that promote environmental sustainability. Option B. Investing in traditional, environmentally harmful industries. Option C. Ignoring the environmental impact of financial decisions. Option D. Using outdated technologies in banking operations. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Financing activities that promote environmental sustainability. Green finance supports projects and initiatives that contribute to a low-carbon and sustainable economy.
Question 72. How is Basel III evolving to address climate-related risks?
Option A. By ignoring climate change considerations. Option B. By incorporating climate risk into the supervisory review process and encouraging disclosures. Option C. By discouraging green finance initiatives. Option D. By increasing the regulatory burden on banks involved in green finance. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. By incorporating climate risk into the supervisory review process and encouraging disclosures. This helps ensure that banks are adequately managing climate-related risks.
Question 73. What is the role of stress testing in assessing climate-related risks?
Option A. It is irrelevant for climate risk assessment. Option B. It helps assess the resilience of banks to various climate change scenarios. Option C. It is only used for assessing traditional financial risks. Option D. It is a hindrance to innovation in green finance. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It helps assess the resilience of banks to various climate change scenarios. Stress testing can help identify vulnerabilities and inform risk management strategies.
Question 74. How can technology help banks in managing climate-related risks?
Option A. By providing tools for data analysis and risk modeling. Option B. By increasing the complexity of risk management. Option C. By replacing human judgment in risk assessment. Option D. By hindering the adoption of green finance initiatives. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. By providing tools for data analysis and risk modeling. Technology can assist banks in assessing and managing climate-related risks more effectively.
Question 75. What is the potential impact of cybersecurity risks on the banking sector?
Option A. They have no impact on the banking sector. Option B. They can lead to financial losses, reputational damage, and disruption of operations. Option C. They are easily mitigated with traditional security measures. Option D. They are only a concern for fintech companies, not traditional banks. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. They can lead to financial losses, reputational damage, and disruption of operations. Cyberattacks can compromise sensitive data and disrupt critical banking services.
Question 76. How is Basel III addressing cybersecurity risks?
Option A. By ignoring cybersecurity threats. Option B. By encouraging banks to strengthen their cybersecurity frameworks and resilience. Option C. By discouraging the use of technology in banking. Option D. By imposing a ban on all online banking activities. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. By encouraging banks to strengthen their cybersecurity frameworks and resilience. Banks need to have robust systems and processes in place to protect against cyber attacks.
Question 77. How is technology impacting the implementation of Basel III in India?
Option A. It is making implementation more complex and challenging. Option B. It has no significant impact on implementation. Option C. It is facilitating compliance and enhancing risk management through data analytics and automation. Option D. It is replacing the need for human intervention in banking. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It is facilitating compliance and enhancing risk management through data analytics and automation. Technology is playing a crucial role in helping banks meet the regulatory requirements of Basel III.
Question 78. What is RegTech?
Option A. Technology used to enhance regulatory compliance and reporting. Option B. Technology used exclusively for customer service in banking. Option C. Technology that is irrelevant for Basel III implementation. Option D. Technology that increases the complexity of regulatory compliance. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Technology used to enhance regulatory compliance and reporting. RegTech solutions are helping banks streamline their compliance processes and reduce costs.
Question 79. How can artificial intelligence, AI, be used in Basel III implementation?
Option A. For fraud detection and risk assessment. Option B. For replacing human decision-making entirely. Option C. For creating unnecessary complexity in banking operations. Option D. For avoiding regulatory compliance. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. For fraud detection and risk assessment. AI algorithms can analyze large datasets to identify potential risks and anomalies.
Question 80. What is the role of cloud computing in Basel III implementation?
Option A. It is irrelevant for Basel III implementation. Option B. It can provide scalable and cost-effective solutions for data storage and processing. Option C. It increases the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. Option D. It hinders the adoption of RegTech solutions. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It can provide scalable and cost-effective solutions for data storage and processing. Cloud computing can support the data management and reporting needs of banks.
Question 81. How can technology help improve the efficiency of regulatory reporting under Basel III?
Option A. By automating data collection and reporting processes. Option B. By increasing manual intervention in reporting. Option C. By making reporting more complex and time-consuming. Option D. By eliminating the need for regulatory reporting altogether. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. By automating data collection and reporting processes. Technology can streamline reporting processes and reduce the likelihood of errors.
Question 82. What is SupTech?
Option A. Technology used by supervisors to enhance regulatory oversight. Option B. Technology used exclusively by banks for customer relationship management. Option C. Technology that is irrelevant for Basel III supervision. Option D. Technology that reduces the effectiveness of supervision. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Technology used by supervisors to enhance regulatory oversight. Subtech tools can help supervisors monitor banks more effectively and identify potential risks.
Question 83. How can big data analytics be used by supervisors in the context of Basel III?
Option A. For ignoring market trends and risks. Option B. For identifying systemic risks and monitoring the health of the banking system. Option C. For reducing the transparency of the banking sector. Option D. For hindering effective supervision. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. For identifying systemic risks and monitoring the health of the banking system. Big data analytics can provide valuable insights into the overall stability of the banking sector.
Question 84. What is the potential impact of technology on the future of banking regulation?
Option A. It will make regulation irrelevant. Option B. It will lead to increased reliance on human judgment and reduce the need for data analysis. Option C. It will transform regulatory processes, making them more data-driven and efficient. Option D. It will create a completely unregulated banking environment. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. It will transform regulatory processes, making them more data-driven and efficient. Technology will play an increasingly important role in shaping the future of banking regulation.
Question 85. How can technology help address the challenges posed by the rise of fintech?
Option A. By suppressing innovation in the fintech sector. Option B. By creating separate regulatory frameworks for fintech and traditional banking. Option C. By enabling regulators to monitor and supervise fintech activities more effectively. Option D. By ignoring the risks associated with fintech. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. By enabling regulators to monitor and supervise fintech activities more effectively. Technology can help regulators keep pace with the rapid developments in the fintech space.
Question 86. What is the overall impact of technology on the future of Basel III in India?
Option A. It will make Basel III obsolete. Option B. It will enhance the effectiveness of Basel III implementation and supervision. Option C. It will create a conflict between technology and regulation. Option D. It will lead to a less resilient banking system. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. It will enhance the effectiveness of Basel III implementation and supervision. Technology will be a key enabler in strengthening the Indian banking system and ensuring its continued compliance with Basel III norms.
Question 87. What does CAR stand for in the context of banking regulation?
Option A. Capital Adequacy Ratio. Option B. Credit assessment report. Option C, capital acquisition rate. Option D, core asset requirement. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Capital adequacy ratio. CAR is a key measure of a bank's financial strength.
Question 88. Which of the following is a component of Tier 1 capital?
Option A. Subordinated debt. Option B. Common stock. Option C. Loan loss reserves. Option D. Revaluation reserves. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Common stock. Common stock is a core component of Tier 1 capital, representing the most stable form of equity.
Question 89. What are risk-weighted assets, RWAs?
Option A. Assets held by a bank, weighted by their respective risk levels. Option B. The total value of all assets held by a bank. Option C. The total amount of capital a bank is required to hold. Option D. The risk associated with a bank's lending portfolio. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. Assets held by a bank, weighted by their respective risk levels. RWAs are used to determine the minimum capital a bank needs to hold.
Question 90. Which of the following is not a type of risk considered under Basel III?
Option A. Credit risk. Option B. Liquidity risk. Option C. Market risk. Option D. Operational risk. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Liquidity risk. While important, liquidity risk is addressed separately under Basel III, not as part of the three main risk categories.
Question 91. What is the purpose of the capital conservation buffer?
Option A. To ensure banks hold additional capital above the minimum requirement. Option B. To provide a buffer against losses during periods of economic stress. Option C. To promote lending to the priority sector. Option D. To regulate the level of dividends a bank can pay. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. To ensure banks hold additional capital above the minimum requirement. The capital conservation buffer enhances the resilience of banks.
Question 92. What is the function of the countercyclical capital buffer?
Option A. To protect banks against losses from counterparty defaults. Option B. To counterbalance the effects of systemic risk in the banking sector. Option C. To ensure banks hold capital against cyclical fluctuations in the economy. Option D. To prevent excessive credit growth during economic booms. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. To ensure banks hold capital against cyclical fluctuations in the economy. This buffer helps to mitigate the impact of economic cycles on banks.
Question 93. What is the primary role of the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, in the context of Basel III?
Option A. Setting international banking standards. Option B. supervising and regulating banks in India. Option C, providing emergency funding to banks. Option D, managing the country's foreign exchange reserves. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Supervising and regulating banks in India. The RBI is responsible for implementing and overseeing Basel III norms in India.
Question 94. How does the RBI implement Basel standards in the Indian context?
Option A. By directly adopting the Basel framework without any modifications. Option B. By adapting the Basel framework to suit the specific needs of the Indian banking system. Option C. By ignoring the Basel framework and developing its own capital adequacy regulations. Option D. By relying on international organizations to implement Basel standards in India. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. By adapting the Basel framework to suit the specific needs of the Indian banking system. The RBI tailors Basel III to the Indian context.
Question 95. How do Indian capital adequacy norms align with the Basel III framework?
Option A. They are fully aligned with the Basel III framework. Option B. They are partially aligned with the Basel III framework with some deviations. Option C. They are completely different from the Basel III framework. Option D. They predate the Basel III framework and have not been updated. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. They are partially aligned with the Basel III framework, with some deviations. India adapts Basel III to its unique circumstances.
Question 96. What is a specific provision of the Indian banking system related to capital adequacy?
Option A. Higher capital requirements for foreign banks operating in India. Option B. Treatment of priority sector lending in the calculation of RWAs. Option C. Exemption of public sector banks from capital adequacy requirements. Option D. Differential capital requirements based on the size of the bank. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Treatment of priority sector lending in the calculation of RWAs. This is a unique aspect of the Indian capital adequacy norms.
Question 97. Which of the following is true regarding capital requirements for different categories of banks in India?
Option A. All banks in India have the same capital adequacy requirements. Option B. Public sector banks have lower capital requirements than private sector banks. Option C. Foreign banks have higher capital requirements than domestic banks. Option D. Capital requirements vary based on factors like the bank size and risk profile. Think the answer.
Correct answer D. Capital requirements vary based on factors like the bank's size and risk profile. The RBI sets different capital requirements based on these factors.
Question 98. How do Indian norms differ from BCBS standards in the treatment of specific asset classes like government securities?
Option A. Indian norms assign higher risk weights to government securities compared to BCBS standards. Option B. Indian norms assign lower risk weights to government securities compared to BCBS standards. Option C. Indian norms and BCBS standards assign the same risk weights to government securities. Option D. Indian norms do not recognize government securities as an asset class. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. Indian norms assign lower risk weights to government securities compared to BCBS standards. This reflects the lower risk associated with these securities in the Indian context.
Question 99. What is an example of a difference in implementation timeline and transitional arrangements between Indian norms and BCBS standards?
Option A. India implemented Basel III norms earlier than the internationally agreed timeline. Option B. India adopted a phased approach for implementing Basel III norms with a longer transition period. Option C. India skipped the implementation of Basel II norms and directly adopted Basel III. Option D. India has not yet implemented Basel III norms. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. India adopted a phased approach for implementing Basel III norms with a longer transition period. This allowed banks more time to adjust to the new requirements.
Question 100. What is the first step in calculating the capital adequacy ratio, CAR?
Option A. Applying the CAR formula. Option B. Calculating risk-weighted assets for different exposures. Option C. Determining eligible capital, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Option D. Identifying the bank's total assets. Think the answer.
Correct answer C. Determining eligible capital, Tier 1 and Tier 2. This involves identifying the components of the bank's capital that qualify under Basel III.
Question 101. How are risk-weighted assets calculated for different exposures?
Option A. By multiplying the value of each exposure by its corresponding risk weight. Option B. By dividing the value of each exposure by its corresponding risk weight. Option C. By adding the value of all exposures and dividing by the average risk weight. Option D. By subtracting the value of risk-free assets from the total value of assets. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. By multiplying the value of each exposure by its corresponding risk weight. This gives a weighted measure of the bank's assets based on their riskiness.
Question 102. What is the formula for calculating the capital adequacy ratio, CAR?
Option A. CAR is equal to Tier 1 capital plus Tier 2 capital, risk-weighted assets. Option B. CAR is equal to Tier 1 capital risk-weighted assets. Option C. CAR is equal to Tier 2 capital risk-weighted assets. Option D. CAR is equal to risk-weighted assets, Tier 1 capital plus Tier 2 capital. Think the answer.
Correct answer A. CAR is equal to Tier 1 capital plus Tier 2 capital, risk-weighted assets. This formula expresses capital as a percentage of risk-weighted assets.
Question 103. if a bank has Tier 1 capital of $100 million, Tier 2 capital of $50 million, and risk-weighted assets of $1 billion, what is its CAR?
Option A, 8%. Option B, 10%. Option C, 15%. Option D, 20%. Think the answer.
Correct answer C, 15%. CAR is equal to $100 million plus $50 million. $1 billion is equal to 0.15 or 15%.
Question 104. What would happen to the CAR in the previous example if the bank's risk-weighted assets increased to $1.5 billion while its capital remained the same?
Option A. The CAR would increase. Option B. The CAR would decrease. Option C. The CAR would remain unchanged. Option D. The CAR cannot be determined with the given information. Think the answer.
Correct answer B. The CAR would decrease. A higher denominator in the CAR formula results in a lower CAR.